Okay. All right. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance today. And I'm going to ask our, yes, I am. Daryl Keller, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Kathy, would you like to offer a prayer,
I
please?
sure will. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings of this day. We ask that you look out for our citizens and those that are in need, and you know who those are. We ask that you guide us today in making decisions that would please you. We ask all of this in thy heavenly precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you both. Hello. It's the random Rainer still on play, right?
At least it was just a normal ringer, not some.
It was the old-fashioned telephone ring. I like that. I have the same one. I like to do that for nostalgic reasons. So, I am getting Mr. Martin's quote up here. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the July 29th Board of Scioto County Commissioners meeting. We will now open our meeting by approving the minutes of July the 22nd. I pray that you've received the minutes, reviewed the minutes, and are ready to vote on those minutes. With that said, would we have a motion to approve those minutes of July the 22nd?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of
I will
July
vac-
22nd.
I will vacate the chair to second that.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Abstain.
In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Questions or comments in regards to item 2 today? Hearing none.
I will make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation and transfer of funds,
In regards to item 3, are there any questions or comments today? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting meeting minutes,
Any questions or comments in regards to item 4? Hearing none.
Motion to accept.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of request for fund transfers,
Any questions or comments in regards to item 5? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of satisfaction of mortgage regarding the CHIP program,
As many of you know, we do administer a CHIP program here in our office that helps low to middle income individuals receive grants and/or loans to help with home remodeling and other services. And this particular mortgage, I always like it when we do satisfaction mortgages. That means someone has gone through the program and has been successful in doing the program. Satisfaction of mortgage bearing the dates of February 11th, 2016, given by Melba Comer to secure the payment of $38,785 recorded in volume 503, page 268 of the Scioto County Records, have been fully complied with, and the same is hereby satisfied and discharged. Any questions or comments in regards to item 6? Hearing none.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of addendum to agreement between the Scioto County Sheriff and the Scioto County Board of Commissioners and County/City of Lawrence County, Ohio.
On this particular item, if you recall, last week we had a question in regards to the cost to house female prisoners, and we did receive a clarification from the sheriff on that. They did do an addendum on the contract with Lawrence County, where female prisoners will be $75 per day, males are $65. It's compensation for receiving, supervision, confining, and boarding those female agency prisoners. And we thank Sheriff Thurman for getting this contract done. My understanding is, in talking with Sheriff Thurman yesterday, that he is very close to doing and establishing the same for Pike County. So we really appreciate the sheriff and his efforts to find ways to fund his department. And we'll see how this goes. But this is the clarification we asked for last week, and this would be to approve the addendum forthwith on item 7. Any questions or comments in regards to that? Hearing none.
Make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of designating trick-or-treat night in Sauter County,
This is a hot button item.
Most important thing we'll do today.
Yes, it is. It really probably might be. It's July, and usually about this time, we start getting hit with when's trick or treat? And we have set that, we are voting to set that. What's being proposed today is Saturday, October 30th, 2020, from 5 p.m. to 7.
2021.
Yeah, we're talking about last year, aren't we? Okay, sorry, Saturday, October 30th, 2021, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. In the county. That is a Saturday night. And just speaking from a personal point of view, I prefer to try to stay away from church days as much as possible. Saturday still gives everyone ample time to be able to go and enjoy trick or treat. This also allows the churches who do a lot of the trunk or treat events to be able to do that on a non-church day, not to do it on the Sabbath. So this kind of solves all of that, and for that reason I support it. But is there any other conversation in regards to this item?
Yes, sir.
I just want to say where'd July go that we're already talking about October?
I know. I was looking, going through paperwork this morning. I was signing my signature and the date on it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
But
This was a blur. It's just a blur that happened. And, yeah. But,
anytime for me personally, Saturday, I think those trick or treats I always remember getting to enjoy a little more because the rush isn't as great of trying to get kids, whether it be home from school or just home from work to get everybody ready. So anytime it hits a Saturday, I think it's a little more enjoyable. So
with that said, if there's no further discussion, we get a motion.
I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the clerk to advertise notices to bidders for FEMA slip repair projects on various roads regarding the Sauter County engineer.
On this particular item, there were several roads that we're going to be addressing here. The county engineer, Darren LeBrun, will be taking care of. With this, we've had a lot of weather events that have caused major slips on several of our roads. And of course, they have worked to get funding to repair several of these. Some of those would be Pine Creek Road, Henley Comstock Road, Henley Deemer Road, Pollock Road, Big Run Road, Clinton Furnace Road. There's two on Clinton Furnace Road, County Road 9 at 3.45 and the 4.3 mile marker, and also Knoxville Hill Bracken Ridge Road will also be addressed with these particular contracts. Are there any questions or comments in regards to what our county engineer is asking for today? If none,
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Coleman?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing all actions necessary to effect a governmental electricity aggregation program with the opt-out provisions pursuant to section 4928.20 of the Ohio Revised Code, directing the Sauter County Board of Elections to submit a ballot question to the electors of unincorporated areas of the county, excluding Green Township.
All right, these next two resolutions, item 10 and 11, have very much to do with what we began a conversation on last week, and we've done quite a bit of research on this. And that is to put on the ballot for the electors of Sauter County the opportunity to participate in an electricity and natural gas aggregation program. Now, before anyone flies off the handle or gets worried, this is a totally It's totally a thing where if you don't want to be part of it, you don't have to be part of it. You can opt out at any time. Matter of fact, you not only can opt out when it happens, but you can also opt out later if you're not happy about it. So now another clarification is this. You heard this, the statement being made that this does not include Green Township. And we have a representative from Green Township here today that is very well versed in all of this. And Green Township has already entered into an electrical aggregation program. Now, do you also have natural gas? Okay, so they've already entered into that, and they, until their program ends, would not be eligible to opt into this one. But once if their program comes to an end, they could opt in, or they could renew with what they're working with. So in reviewing, actually, the rate that's been quoted us is actually just 0.2 of a penny less than what they're paying, but unfortunately, they've already done that. But this was done several years ago, so it wasn't something that this other program was available or was being talked about. So the city of Portsmouth, I just talked with Sam Sutherland about this again yesterday, is getting their ducks in a row. They do have to do an amended resolution on theirs because of an Ohio Revised Code issue, but they are doing that quickly to get the city of Portsmouth on this particular ballot. So we are working hard we worked really hard to get all the details on it. We will have an education piece that'll go out to the public to let the public know exactly what this is about. One of the good things is what this does is it prevents predatory companies from trying to talk people into programs that look good on their face, but initially they look great, but eventually cost you a lot of money, and there's a lot of fees and fines and all kinds of stuff. We're trying to protect people that are vulnerable in our society from that. This will do that. But like we said, you can opt out. You don't have to do it. If you want to pay a higher rate, you can. If you think you can get a lower rate, please do. We don't want to tie anybody down on this. We want to give the people of Sauter County an opportunity to vote and choose. So we're going to put this out there. We're going to vote on doing that this morning, and we will be putting the actual resolutions and the education piece on our website, as well as putting it on our Facebook page, so people will be able to see that and start learning about it, and have plenty of time before the election in November to discuss and understand. I'm sure Portsmouth will be doing something similar to this because it will be necessary for the people of Portsmouth within the incorporated area to vote on whether or not they want to do this. If Portsmouth votes yes and Sauter County votes no, then Portsmouth will receive the benefits, Sauter County will not, and vice versa. Or both will or both won't. It just depends on how you, the electors of Sauter County, vote. It's in your hands. And we felt that was a fair way to do this, and it's an equitable way to do this. So we think this is the right way to go about it. So we will do our best to educate. We'll work with the Board of Elections to educate the public, because we know it's always, a lot of times, especially on statewide issues, you don't always know what's going on, and that's very frustrating for a voter. And we want to make sure that everybody has ample time and access to the information. All right. With that said, is there any questions or comments from my fellow board members in regards to these issues?
I think you said it all. I mean, it's a program that can lock in your rate. It should be lower. You know, the projections are that it would be a lower rate, and I think anytime you can lock in a rate specifically connected to energy, whether it's a gas or electric or whatever, for 3 years, you know, as a business owner, as a household, to be able to budget and project out, it's a valuable tool to have. And if you don't like it, opt out. That's okay. In terms of the day-to-day, what that looks like, it still shows up on your AEP bill. You know, you're not going to get a different bill for somebody else. You're still very much going to see the bill from the same people, pay the same people. What this program does is lock in hopefully a lower rate that you can enjoy for the next 3 years.
And for electric and gas.
Yeah,
So
electric and gas.
if you don't have gas, then it really doesn't impact you, but your neighbor may. That's my take. My neighbor has natural gas, but I don't. It doesn't come all the way up to my property line, but, I want them to be able to enjoy the lower rate if possible too, so, but all right, well, if there's no other further discussion or comment,
I'll make a motion to adopt.
okay.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing all actions necessary to effect a governmental natural gas aggregation program with opt-out provisions pursuant to section 4929.26 of the Ohio Revised Code directing the Sauter County Board of Elections to submit a ballot question to the electors of unincorporated areas of the county excluding Green Township.
Questions or comments in regards to item 11?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
And I'll second.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution naming the Sauter County Commissioners' appointment to the District 15 Public Works Integrating Committee regarding Ohio Valley Regional Development.
On item 12, we have a representative that always sits on that committee. The Sauter County Commissioners would like to appoint Darren LeBrun, our county engineer, to serve on the District 15 Public Works Integrating Committee, and that would be for a term of 3 years, beginning October of 2021. Questions or comments in regards to item 12? Hearing none?
Motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of accepting amended certificate from the Budget Commission.
Questions or comments in regards to the amended certificate? Hearing none?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of 2022-2023 biennial sub-grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services and the Ohio Department of Medicaid, state fiscal year 2022-2023.
This biennial sub-grant agreement is between the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, Ohio Department of Medicaid for state fiscal years 2022 and 2023, prepared in accordance with the ORC sections 307.89, 5101.21, 5160.30, and established the terms and conditions of the agency's receipt of funding for the July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023 biennium. There are two changes to the sub-grant: an addition of 2 CFR 400.1 as a reference in additions to Article 2, which is the statutory authority of ODJFS, paragraph F, was modified, and the Article 3 responsibilities of sub-grant paragraphs N and O were added to the agreement. Are there any questions or comments in regards to those revisions and the actual agreement itself? Hearing none?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for the various funds, moral obligations, and then now certificates. In the amount of $1 million.
Yeah, go ahead. We're just so used to hearing that last line and cringing. So, yes, go right ahead.
$1,008,442.78.
This particular docket looks very large, and it is. It also includes $308,000 payment to Knox Energy, aka United Pipeline, is in there as well as over $500,000, $500,000 in transferring funds for our healthcare in moving. So, yes, healthcare is very expensive proposition for the county. So, any questions or comments in regards to item 15? Hearing none?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Powell,
Aye.
Ms. Coleman,
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
In the matter of resolution for a proposed renewal of the tax levy for the purpose of providing funds for maintaining and supporting senior citizen services or facilities in Sauter County, Ohio.
This is a renewal tax levy. I wanted to clarify that on the docket here, so that it is for a renewal amount. Are there any questions or comments in regards to this particular item? Hearing none.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I will second.
Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye. Okay, we will be going into executive session to discuss disciplinary action of an employee with legal counsel, / ORC 121.22G. Before we do that, because I know sometimes people will disappear, okay, because you just never know when we're going to come back. I don't think it's going to take very long, and we also don't know, because we have not heard anything about this. We don't know if there will be any action regarding this afterwards. We just don't know at this time. But I do want to read something to the general public of Sauter County from our health commissioner, Dr. Michael Martin. I've been in contact with him quite a bit here lately in regards to the new strain of COVID, also the increased numbers that we're seeing. We are dealing with a high infection increase right now within the county as well as our surrounding counties. Lawrence County is also seeing this. Adams County is seeing it as well. But I actually asked him to come to our meeting today to discuss this, and he was unable to do so in such short notice, but he will be coming next week. But he did offer up a public statement for me to read today, and I will read his exact words and what he's saying. Fellow citizens of Sauter County, we have experienced a large increase in COVID cases in our county. 90% are from unvaccinated individuals. SOMC admitted 14 patients with COVID last weekend. No vaccinated person was admitted. The vaccines we have are safe and effective in preventing hospitalizations and death from COVID. Please stay alive, stay at home, please vaccinate yourselves and your loved ones. And that is a statement from Dr. Martin. So I told him I would read that out loud in our meeting today, and I would echo what he said. Please stay safe. Do what you can. I know several of us have friends that are being affected right now by this, and we are seeing a resurgence of cases in our hospitals, and it is not a small number. So please be safe out there, and I'll leave it at that. All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to comment on that?
I mean, I'll just add that, what's our percentage at this point? 50?
Less
Less than 50%
Less than 40.
vaccinated, less than 40 in the county. Being in healthcare, specifically around our elder population, we're still very mindful of the disease. We've seen nursing homes ravaged by COVID, from one case to 50-some cases, 3 weeks, multiple deaths when this first outbreak happened. And thankfully, a lot of our residents are getting vaccinated. Staff are getting vaccinated. But we're also now open to visitors. And because of all the health mandates have pretty much expired. So visitors are open, which is great. I'm glad to see families back in our facilities. But the concern still is, if somebody brings COVID into a nursing home, the real impact, and I'm not talking what you see on the news or the talking points from one side or the other, the real impact is that it can ravage a community in very short order. And I'm speaking specifically to the nursing homes, but the same goes for your grandmas, your grandpas, your older parents, and there's younger people affected too. But if you're not vaccinated, look, it's a choice. Do your research. I get it, but also be mindful of the vulnerable people in your lives, because it's real and it's quick. And so I would encourage people to get vaccinated. If you're not comfortable with that, Masks are still very much an option. We still are, a free country, and it's still a choice. But instead of getting your information off of Facebook or, certain media sources, talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor.
Talk to
Yeah.
your doctor. Do what's best for you and your family. But this thing's not going anywhere. And with schools ramping back up, and we're going to see people more in congregate settings now as we're getting through the summer. And as the weather cools off and people are back indoors more, we'll see a resurgence.
Yeah.
So be mindful. It's not gone. Do we stop living our lives? No, not at all. But still protect those that you love.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. What I would like to do before we go into executive session also is to take any questions we have from the public or from online. Nothing?
It's not exactly a question. On the 15th, you directed me to Mr. Horton, who is
Mhm.
here today, and I've already provided this to him based on some of the discussion. It is just a request for consideration going forward when the county begins to look at funding in the area for different projects that have already been identified, but that are not yet quite moving forward. If you would please keep Green Township in mind. And here are some of the possibilities that have been looked into, including, some of the variables. And that's just a request for consideration. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Aldine.
For those listening in or watching this, you might want to tell everyone who you are. And
Yeah.
State your
Yeah,
name.
please.
I'm sorry. Aldine Gaspers. I am not presenting this on behalf of the Green Township trustees. As you can see, I'm presenting this as a candidate and a citizen. I actually talked to this and spoke about this in 2019 when I was seeking the position in the Township trustees, but it's something that's near and dear to my heart. And speaking to a lot of our citizens, I believe I can speak that it's near and dear to their heart as well, to keep us included in any future plans.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And just flipping through, and I look forward to reading this. Thank you for the effort.
Yeah,
Just put,
really.
It's nice to see, not only like, hey, I would like this, but here's some of the information behind it. So
Yeah.
I look forward to reading that, Aldine. We appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. We actually we had told Mrs. Gaspers to look up Robert, and we were over there later that afternoon, and guess who was in front of Robert? so she doesn't mess around. So it was and I knew that there was a wealth of information there to give you some feedback on what was going on, because one of the things we don't do well is we don't tell enough about what's going on, because sometimes we can't. Sometimes we can't, but other times, I think it's more of we just do. You just do it, get it done, and that's kind of our attitude. But at the same time, the public likes to know what's going on as well, and even before it happens or during when it happens. So we're trying to figure out a way to get that more out there. Even though we talk about a lot of this stuff in this meeting, not everybody watches this meeting. So unfortunately, that's just the way it works. So we're trying to figure out a way to make that more out there. As you can see, the news media isn't necessarily here. So that's on them. Anyways, all right, with that, is there anything online? Okay. Anything, Mrs. Coleman?
No, sir. I thank you for the information that you provided for our citizens today. I thank Mrs. Gaspers for coming in, and our Economic Director, Mr. Horton, and Mr. Keller. And I've been gone for a little while, and I'm happy to be back. And I'm just always confident when I come back that these two gentlemen right here have taken care of everything just the way it should be. So thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, we've been in contact too.
Well, yes.
Yes. Yes, so appreciate that. Appreciate that. Anything else for the good of the order before we go into session?
I have a couple things, just
Yes,
because I know
go right
people
ahead.
probably won't come back for our closing of the meeting. First, I want to say congratulations to Rhonda Porter. Rhonda is the Adult Protective Services Supervisor. We received notice that she is the 2021 Ohio Coalition for Adult Protective Service Worker of the Year. Now, this means she is the #1 APS worker, service worker for the entire state of Ohio. So to see that recognition of her services and being selected out of everyone in that service industry in Ohio, that it's great to hear. I know there's probably some official stuff coming from that, but Rhonda, congratulations, and thank you for protecting our elder population. The other thing I would like to bring up, we've talked about a pump track a lot.
Yeah.
I know initially we had plans of potentially 2 pump tracks, a larger one and then a smaller, small rollers track for children. And speaking with ODNR, they're also putting a pump track in down at the Ohio River Camp site. So the question was, we don't want to have the same product located, less than 3 miles from each other.
Yeah.
So the question is, how can we build something that complements? Now, we did have 2 bidders initially when we put this out to bid. One company, the low bidder company, unfortunately wasn't able to provide any references of completed tracks, pictures of any completed tracks. Could they probably do the project? Maybe, but there wasn't any references there. The other company is a national company. They build out these tracks for Red Bull tournaments. They're out of Joplin, Missouri. So in talking to them, there's an opportunity should we want to go, and I'll place this contract in both your boxes to review, but we could go with a single larger track. We could have the larger track, ODNR could have the smaller track, they could complement each other, but we could build out a track that is large enough to warrant some of these Red Bull tournaments. Whatever, yeah, so it's exciting to think that we could do that. Currently, there's not one of that size in Ohio.
We'd be the first.
We would be the first.
Yeah.
We were already talking about spending so much of the money from the stumpage, but the ARP money could also be used for this as well. So the question is, do we just want to go ahead and level it up a little bit and go for a 10,000 square foot track? Essentially what it is. That is competition level.
The vision is tourism.
Yeah, the vision's
Yeah.
tourism. It ties what we're doing to what the river camp's doing, but also what Samba is doing out in the forest there. It's a recreational piece. Everybody says we don't have anything for the kids to do. This is yet another thing for the kids to do, and it will enhance our ETC park. So something to consider. Once again, I'll put the contracts in your boxes. It's a little different than the original vision, but I don't think we want to get into a competition with what ODNR is doing. I'd rather see something that's complementary.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there.
In speaking to one of their assistant directors, it was interesting that the pump track wasn't on their initial list of things they wanted to do down there. If you look at the original maps, it wasn't. But that their director, Mary Mertz in Columbus, was, I think, in Arkansas, and she saw one. And she wasn't necessarily aware that we were already planning one, but she came back and she told her people, I want one. So when that was made known to us, we were like, okay, wait a minute, how do we work together? Because, it's overkill, basically, to have two so close to each other. So working together, Scotty, thank you for your efforts on that. and talking with them and planning accordingly, and just trying to chart the vision and focus on that for years to come.
Yeah.
It's necessary for us to we need to work with ODNR, and we are on several fronts right now. And something was said the other day, and I really appreciate this comment about the things we're focusing on, especially with the art money right now, is the generational impact projects, the things that when we're long gone, it'll still be there, and our kids and our grandkids will be enjoying it, and beyond that. And this is one of those things. The people that put together ETC Park years ago probably never envisioned that a pump track could be put in. But here we are in 2021 talking about adding another feature.
Yeah.
They probably never even envisioned, maybe they did, that a splash pad would be put in. Back then when they first built the original park, that here we are. So, I think we would agree that the things that have been done down there have had a generational impact. So that's really what we're focusing on a lot of fronts right now, is having an impact in our community in different places throughout our county to have that impact on our children, especially our children's children, and to make that difference. And so we'll see. I'm glad that there's an option in reviewing it. I think we were settling. We were going to settle, and I didn't want to settle, and I'm glad that this option exists. And it could be big. It could be giant for our area if we were able to host an event like that. We're talking about thousands of people coming in for an event like that. So it affects everything. It impacts everybody at every level. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else? All right. So with that, we will be entering into an executive session. Sorry about that. We literally just had someone walk in. And we won't be long. So we'll be going into executive session. Can we get a motion to do so?
I'll make the motion to enter into executive session to discuss disciplinary action of employee regarding ORC 121.22G. We'll be inviting Mr. Keller into executive session.
All right. Can we get a second?
I will second.
I will. All right.
Mr. Todd?
Aye.
Ms. Cullen?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. We will be back with you as soon as we possibly can. And so stay tuned. I don't know how else to say it. We are back from our executive session, and can we get a motion to re-adjourn, please?
I'll make the motion to re-adjourn at 11:05.
I will second.
Ms. Cullen?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye. And it's my understanding we are not going to be taking any action as a result of the executive session today. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
Ms. Cullen?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye. Thank you, everybody, very much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the beautiful weather coming our way. And get outside, do things. See ya.
Thank you.
I don't know if we're out yet. We out?